recap the year, the newest releases, the biggest moments, and we have an amazing panel. So if you want to go down the line, introduce yourself, talk about like what you do.
You start from me?
Yeah. Start from you.
Okay. Well, we should start from you then.
Okay.
Way to reflect it all.
Right. So I'm Sierra Hill. I'm a creative curator. I curate a lot of different events. I have a platform called Creative Process that's designed to deliver access to creative culture, study and highlight artists, and provide opportunities for artistic growth. And this is my last show of the year, obviously. I've done almost a show every month this year, so I'm glad to kind of wrap it up. I'm glad to be with everybody in this room tonight, to end it this way. So, yeah.
Hey y'all, I am Jina Katura. I'm currently a student at Northwestern University for Creative Enterprises. Leadership for Creative Enterprises, getting my master's, but I originally went to Columbia College Chicago for my undergrad, so I know this whole panel is like Columbia alum, so it's good to be back. I got my degree in TV writing and producing, but I am in the music as well. Starting bits, being in a duo called Console, where I'm the MC and my best friend named Shane, she sings. And also just being like a hip hop and music connoisseur, listening to as much music as possible, especially underground artists. And yeah.
My name is Jovan Landry, the 1/3 filmmaker, photographer, MC, also a Columbia alumni with my degree in film. And I've been rapping on the scene since 2012 in Chicago. And most recently, I produced a project called Synergy, which is an all-women's hip-hop album, all produced, written, and performed by women. We have over 50 women from Chicago who contributed to the project. And that's probably one of my biggest highlights to date thus far musically.
Nice. Man, why did I I'm supposed to match up to that. My name is Kasera, better known as DJ Cash Era. I'm also a Columbia alumni. Got my degree in radio with a minor in television, video editing to be exact. I am a part-time producer at WGN Radio, 720 AM, and then I DJ all around the city. I'm internationally recognized. I'm the official DJ for Young Chicago Authors Other Than a Bomb, which is the world's largest youth poetry slam festival held here in Chicago every year. Thank you. And I am also the face of AT&T's 312 thing ad on all social media platforms at the moment.
I'm glad you said, how I'm gonna follow up with that? And then,
Right.
I was like, okay, I've done a lot of little stuff. We can pick out like 3 big things that I got involved.
Yeah, so today we are gonna just kind of discuss music. I feel like media is such a big part of our culture right now, and everybody's opinion is kind of just out there on display, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's accurate, whether it's bullshit. So I really am excited to hear all of you guys' opinions and thoughts on what's happened this year. So I think our first question for today is your personal top 5 hip-hop releases of the year. And we can start.
I'm going the opposite way now.
Yeah.
I'm so nervous. I never say that I have like favorite like albums or artists, because I usually don't. And if I do, I just don't share it, because I feel like as a DJ, I want to be as like as not opinionated as possible. But for the purposes of this panel today, my top 5 hip hop albums in no particular ranking: Fever by Megan Thee Stallion, One Up by T-Pain, You Can't Sit With Us by Pivot Gang, Under Bed by Partisan Fontaine, and then Kirk by The Baby.
Mine is also in no particular order, and I categorize the top 5 based on me not skipping the record. If I can listen to it all, like from top to bottom, and I do have some honorable mentions too. So, Little Brother, May the Lord Watch, Bun B and Static Selector, Trill Static, Rhapsody, Eve, my album Synergy, because that took a lot of hard work, and we're here now. It's released. The Game, Born to Rap, Fat Joe, Family Ties, And then my honorable mentions are Michael DeVille, he's from Chicago. Maintain, Missy Elliott, Iconology, Dave East, Survival, and Common, Let Love.
Yes. Cool. That was a good one. So mine is not in no specific order either, but I definitely got Rhapsody. If y'all haven't heard it, you should. It's basically like a playlist full of powerful women icons that she like named them after, and then like just go in and have some of the coldest features on the album. Yes. Come on. Okay.
Well, you got her to rap.
Right. Megan Thee Stallion Fever, definitely. I don't really allow myself to have like 2 favorite ratchet artists. Again, I gotta get ready to. I can't put too much in my head like that. So I don't listen to a lot of trap artists and stuff, but Meg is definitely my top, and the baby is definitely one of my top. Cause he went crazy this year. Tobe, or Tobe, some people say Tobe, but I say Tobe. When I listen to his name, it's like Tobe Wigway. I think that's how you pronounce it. But he's like a
you got it. That's how you say it.
Thank you. I thought so. I know what I'm talking about. He came out with an album called 4 Originals, and they got a baby coming on the way, him and Fat. So like, shout out to them. Dreamville and T-Pain went up as well. So that was really 6.
Yeah.
But
That's okay. That's like an honorable mention.
Right.
That's cool.
So for me, I had Diaspora, Gold Link. I think that was kind of underrated for me. Like, not a lot of people spoke about it, and then Gold Link had the whole like controversy this year, which kind of like changed my opinion. Yeah, the album was great. Anger Management, Rico Nasty and Kenny Beats, Dr. My Bitch, Baby Keem, Ventura, Anderson .Paak, and The Lost Boy, YB and Cordae. I feel like all of ours is different, which is great though. Like, I feel like it's a wide range of different artists, different sounds, and I love what you said about like kind of the outline of what a best album is. Can you start it from the top? Can you listen to it through the end? Is there any skips? And like, that's always a discussion of like, what is a classic?
Exactly.
So, what are you guys' top 5 R&B releases? This year was kind of the year of R&B.
It was.
It was like the comeback of R&B.
I can start.
You got it.
But I feel like we just scattering now, so like, whatever, period. I got Lucky Day, Painted, BJ the Chicago Kid. I love him. Chris Brown, even though I feel like he's a little overrated. That album was fire.
He just releases so much music.
So much. That is like oversaturated.
And the thing about
I
new
feel like
music, it takes me a minute to like fully ingest it all. So if it's so much, I just can't sit through.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Oversaturation, overrated.
Yeah.
But Indigo was fire though. So I'll give him that. PJ Morton.
Hell yes.
Listen, if y'all ever woke up Sunday morning and your mama made you clean up, PJ Morton is what I'm listening to, okay? Summer Walker, and then I had to give one to Daniel Caesar too, so I feel like I did 6 and 6, but because I was going to leave Daniel Caesar out, and I was like, no, I got to put him back in because he had some really good music on that last album, so yeah.
For me, Moonchild, Little Ghost.
Okay.
Oh man. Something about that album, I was listening to it and it just felt like something like off their last album, which is not a bad thing, but it just goes to show how consistent they are with their sound. So I really love like hearing music that's like timeless. Summer Walker, Over It, Sir Chasing Summer, Tory Lanez, Chinks Tape 5, which I thought was really dope. He was sampling 2000s music and then featuring those artists on the project too. Like, I love when people can feature their inspirations on the track, like in present time.
And also pay homage.
And pay homage, yeah. Shanti was on his cover, which I think that's dope when artists are like for that and they're not like, I don't, not want to be like open about that. So I love when like artists that's being inspired by these artists are willing to give back, And then her, I love her. I'm born in the Bay, even though I represent Chicago, but just to have someone like from the Bay, like, you feel like you can just resonate with her. So, and just her just is like, she's very like humble and down to earth, and I love an artist that has personality as well as the talent. And then Snow Allegra's album is really good too. Got me on my feels. Yeah.
Snow, you got nothing to say.
Yeah.
For sure. I got Chase A5. I got Over It with Summer Walker. Legacy with Jamila Woods. I feel like she gave us like an entirely different side of her that we haven't seen before. And I think it's a beautiful thing. You can constantly see an artist evolve, and they are willing to let you in on their progress and process as they do that. Brent Faiyaz is doing this thing where he's not really dropping albums, but he's dropping singles that contradict each other as if they should be on an album. So I wanted to like mention him in there, even though they are singles, but they go back to back. And it's Rehab, which is Winter in Paris, and Fuck the World, which is Summer in London. There we go. Free Spirit by Khalid, and then Thank You Next by Ariana Grande.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like Ariana, like, she could be overrated. I don't feel like she's overrated yet. I feel like she's right at like the line of being overrated.
She's on the threshold.
She's just getting really close. But her album, like, I feel like it just severely slaps. It gives bops, and it also, I feel like it's one of those albums where it's like it makes you happy. Like I've never played an Ariana song and people just stand there and look at me. Like, people know it, they get happy, like, it slaps at drag shows, the whole nine. So I feel like if I can play a song and I can play it in different settings and people can react to it in various ways, it's a dope ass song or album. So yeah.
That's interesting because like her album is incredible, but I never even would have thought about her for my list. So that's interesting. So my list was Burna Boy, African Giant, Sir Chasing Summer, Steve Lacy, Apollo 21, Solange When I Get Home, and Ari Lennox, Shea Butter Baby. But I feel like this year was like the year of Summer Walker.
Yeah,
like she dominated.
Good in the
Her
bad.
concert slaps.
It was good.
Her concert slap.
Yeah.
But she has so much like talk around her with the social anxiety and like how her concerts weren't that great.
But she killed it.
Incredible.
She killed it.
Yeah.
Because I was able to get free tickets, and it was just like, damn. Like, I literally sat up there because I was like, man, this might suck. These tickets for free. I had to pay for it. But she had 2 pole dancers with her performing. And like she even took a minute in the middle of her set to like address her social anxiety and to like flip it into like a motivation moment for the crowd. But I mean, every song she hit to the T. It was flawless.
Yeah, and that's big for artists to like, because it takes a lot of courage to perform. It's not, and especially performing your feelings, and you're giving that to somebody that you don't know essentially. So it's really brave. So I feel like people should like back off. But at the same time, as an artist, you are a public figure and you have to have this representation and kind of cater to your audience that are paying money. So like with the whole like meet and greets, I don't think her team should have had her do that. Like just keep it the performance and let her be on her merry way. But otherwise, I'm down for her and her voice, and like she really is an authentic artist to me. Like as far as her craft. So I really appreciate her a lot.
I feel like Summer Walker is like the R&B version of what Slim Shady was when he first came out. Like she's saying the shit that you're afraid to say, but it needs to be said. And Slim Shady used to do that. I mean, he was off meds and whatnot, but he was like that raunchy rapper that was saying the shit, but like he would only talk about with your friends in like a private setting. She's just addressing like her emotional shit that you used to just hear with your homegirls, just putting it out for the world to hear. So yeah, that's how I look at her right now.
I saw her do this interview with Complex on YouTube. She did like an interview, and it was like, what do you do backstage in your free time? She was like, fart.
She was so sarcastic.
And I was just like, what is wrong with this girl, first of all? Because all these people finna see this. But like, at the same time, really on true sense.
It's relatable. Like, that's how we talk in our everyday life. We're not sitting here perfect, like, all the time, you know what I'm saying? I saw one with her and Ari Lennox, and they were just like kikiing and having a good time, having an authentic conversation.